Shipping art prints, it can be kind of confusing. I mean, are you supposed to use a rigid envelope, just a regular flat envelope, a bubble pack envelope, or maybe even a priority mail flat rate envelope? In this video, we're going to go over all of this. That way you can save money and send your prints in the mail safely. First, when trying to figure out how to save money, you might be considering mailing your prints as a flat. This would be a large flat envelope just like this. Now, the thing is, to qualify for a flat envelope rate with USPS, which they only cost about $1.50 to mail, which is awesome. It might go up in price later if you're watching this video in the future, a year or two, because the prices of shipping always go up. But at the time of recording, it's $1.50 to mail this. But the problem is, right, it has to be floppy, it has to bend. And so if you're trying to send something, let's say an art print, and you need to package it with a rigid backing board, like I have this one, you can see I've wrapped it in a polypropylene bag and I've put a backing board back here, so you can't really bend this. That's the point, right? You don't want the mail person to fold this or bend it, or as it's just getting packaged with all of the other mail, you don't want your print to get crumpled up. This means if you send your print in just a regular floppy envelope like this without a backing board so that it qualifies for the flat large letter rate of $1.50, you're going to damage your print. And so you do not want to do this. Another option is to get a semi-rigid mailer like this one to mail your prints in. Now, I would only suggest this for 5x7 prints and smaller. But if you got this, you don't have to put a rigid backing board in there. You can just slide your print into this and mail it in that letter rate for the $1.50. But it's important to note that if your prints are larger than 5x7s, you don't want to do this because it will become too floppy and it's more likely to get bent and hurt in the mail. It's best to illustrate this with a big semi-rigid envelope. You see this one would hold an 8x10 size print, but it's very floppy. You can see how this thing could just get folded and crunched all up in the mail, right? You don't want that. So if you're going to use a flat rate envelope or a large semi-rigid envelope, always add a backing board in there, a piece of cardboard, something to stiffen this whole envelope up. But once you do that, you won't be able to mail it at the letter rate. Also, if you're using this priority mail shipping envelope, this is one of the more expensive ways you can ship an 8.5x11 size print or smaller. So I wouldn't suggest it. What I like to do is use a bubble pack envelope, wrap my artwork in the polypropylene bag with the backing board, and stick it inside of here. And this will keep it nice and firm, so that way it won't bend. And also the bubble pack helps it give some dent protection, so if it's sliding against other pieces, it won't scratch or dent the front of my work. So I like to use the bubble pack envelopes because I think it makes the artwork get there a little bit more safely. But also the bubble pack envelopes are actually a little bit cheaper than the semi-rigid cardboard envelopes. So if you're trying to save a little money on packing, go with the bubble pack envelopes. There are lots of different sizes available on Amazon. Just get the smallest size that you need to accommodate the size of print that you're shipping. You want to ship them as a USPS first class package. Now, I think the name of this has changed to USPS Ground Saver or something like that, but ultimately the cheapest priced package that you can get. And to mail an 8.5x11 size print, it costs you around $4 to $5 depending on where you're shipping to in the United States once you have it all packaged up in that bubble pack envelope. I'd also like to add in here that if you're trying to save a little bit of money and you're going to the post office to purchase your labels, you should stop doing that. Make sure to purchase your labels online because it's going to save you anywhere from 10 to 25% of your total shipping cost. And this can really add up over time. And you can generate your labels through Etsy if you're selling on there, and sometimes even your own website, like if you're selling on Shopify. But if you don't have a place to generate labels, try using Pirate Ship. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is pay the cost of your labels, and it works really well. I've used them for years. I'm not an affiliate or anything of Pirate Ship. It's just a shipping label service online that has worked well for me. And when it comes to shipping flat envelopes like these, USPS has the best prices in the US when you're comparing FedEx to UPS to USPS. So definitely ship with the Postal Service using their package rate for envelopes of this size, so like 8.5x11 and smaller. You can also ship your art prints in a tube. I've made a video for that. If you would like to learn more about how to do that, watch this video. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.